guys, it's Sam, and this is the mid-year book freakout tag. I did this tag around this time last year as well, so this is the 2.0 version. This tag was created by Chami and Ellie. I will leave both their channels down below, and I was tagged by Kaz from Little Book Owl. Everyone will be linked down below. Number 1, the best book that I have read so far in 2016. I've read some really amazing books, but I think this has to go to The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch for a number of reasons. I loved the characters, I love the world, it's the introduction to a new series I've been meaning to read for a while. It speaks to me on a lot of levels because it's about thieves. It's one of my favorite main characters of all time. And it's just perfect, like perfectly constructed. I don't really have any complaints about this book whatsoever because it's so perfectly crafted. It's everything. Number 2, the best sequel that I have read so far in 2016. This one is actually a finale, and it is The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. I have done a full review and gush on this book, but again, much like The Lies of Locke Lamora, perfectly constructed book, perfectly constructed series. There are a few complaints that I have about the series, like overall, but ultimately, like, that doesn't even matter because it's so well done, and it left me a devastated mess after I read it, so has to win. Number 3 is a new release book for 2016 that I haven't read yet, but I want to. I actually tend to read my new releases that I want to read right after they come out, so I don't really have a lot of these. The only one I could think of is The Empire of Dust by Eleanor Herman. This is the second book in the Legacy of King series, and it's a historical fiction fantasy that follows Alexander the Great, and I loved the first book, and I have the second book because I got it at BEA this year, but I'm saving it for Arc August, which is next month, and I will have a video coming up about that, but it's basically where you read all arcs in August. So I'm saving it for that, begrudgingly. Number 4 is my most anticipated release for the second half of 2016, and this is a two-way tie between The Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson, which is the last book in the Remnant Chronicles, and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. I would maybe even say that The Crooked Kingdom is a little bit ahead. I can't even. They're both the end to some of my favorite series, and I'm screaming about both of them. I really can't even function properly. But The Beauty of Darkness is coming up sooner than Crooked Kingdom, but both of them I'm just like, I need them immediately. Like, are my babies safe? Probably not. Are some of them gonna die? Probably. I'm nervous. Number 5 is biggest disappointment from 2016, and this year I was looking up the books that I have read. I haven't read like as much as I read in previous years, so I think I have less to choose from, but overall, I feel like I'm reading a lot of flops this year. Like, I'm either reading books that are amazing, 5 stars, or like 2 and 1 stars, and like really nothing in between. So that's upsetting. So I do kind of have a lot of disappointments. So I would say my biggest disappointments so far this year are The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness, which I was really expecting to like, and then just didn't, and I don't plan to continue with the series. The Darkest Magic by Morgan Rhodes. This is the second book in the A Book of Spirits and Thieves trilogy, which is a spin-off trilogy to the Fallen Kingdom series, which you guys know I love and adore. This book isn't bad by any means, but it's just not as good as Fallen Kingdom. Like, the series overall, in my opinion, isn't. So that's disappointing to me because I want more from it. And I'm getting enough as just a Fallen Kingdoms fan, but I would just wish there was more, so this is disappointing. And it's even disappointing for me to talk about because I just love Fallen Kingdom so much, and this is just lackluster in comparison. And the biggest disappointment forever and always is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons, which you guys already know because I talk about it in every video where I talk about books that I hate or I'm disappointed by, because I was so looking forward to this book. And that's why it stings so much, because I was looking forward to this book and holding off on it because I knew I was going to love it. I just knew I was going to love it. And I hate it. So, like, this book forever will disappoint me. Like, I look at it on my shelf and I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in you. Which is exactly how I feel about it. Like, everything about it. I link my review up above, like I always do, because... Number 6 is biggest surprise so far in 2016. And that is definitely A Court in Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I'm sure you guys knew before I even said it what I was going to say, because I was fully expecting to hate this book. I hated ACOTAR last year, and this book, I love. Like, a lot. Like, again, it's not without its issues. The series as a whole is not without its issues, but, like, this book is very, very important to me, and I still am thinking about it, and I'm, like, lost in the fandom on Tumblr all the time. How did I get here? I don't know. Number 7 is a new favorite author, and this can be a new to me or a debut. This isn't necessarily new to me or a debut, but it is a new favorite author, because all the other people I couldn't really call, like, favorite authors, and this one definitely is, and that is Brandon Sanderson. I finished the Mistborn series very recently, obviously, since I've been talking about it like all the time, and I now love him, and I want to read everything by him, and I can't necessarily say that about every other author that I've read this year, so he's the newest favorite, for sure. Locked in. Number 8 is newest fictional crush, and I don't really have a ton of these this year because I'm getting to a point where I don't have a ton of crushes on fictional characters in books. Like, I just ship them so hard with whoever I ship them with that, like, I don't ship them with me. That didn't really happen a lot before anyway. I don't really have, like, book boyfriends and book girlfriends. Like, I just want them with whoever I want them with. But these are people that I feel like fall most closely to that. And that would be Azrael from A Court of Mist and Fury and Aedwin from Truth Witch. Both of them kind of fall into the same kind of category of, like, dark and mysterious, brooding, tortured souls in a way sometimes. Like, they feel very similar. I feel like they'd be friends if they knew each other in, like, real life. Like, yeah, both of them are just, like, my tortured little babies. It might be possible that I had all my answers blocked for this because I am currently playing Mass Effect 3 and I can't think beyond Garrus Vakarian. Like, I can't think. And even my other, like, love interest in that series, like, I love Thane and I love Liara too. So them and Garrus creating this, like, supernova black hole of, like, this is all I think about might be why I can't think of any other fictional crushes. But that's not a new to me crush. That's, like, that's been existing for years now, but, like, I can't see anything else. That's all I see. Number 9 is newest favorite fictional character. And that would have to be Sissix from The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Sissix was my favorite as soon as she appeared. I think she's such a cool alien species. Like, she's from such a cool culture. In such a wonderful, just wonderful culture, and she's so wonderful, and I just love, like, everything about her and her attitude and just everything. I just love her so much. I hope that the second book has stuff with her because I'm gonna miss her very, very dearly if it doesn't. Number 10 is a book that made you cry in the first half of 2016, and I don't cry very often in books. I really don't. But I did cry in The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson because it's the end of a series. And this book does not hold back with, like, emotions and stress and stuff. Like, it's a really good, true finale. And I shed tears. I definitely did. I was very emotional about this book. Number 11 is a book that made you happy, and that was Summer Days and Summer Nights, edited by Stephanie Perkins. I tend to really enjoy short story collections. I really love the other short story collection that she did in the winter 2 years ago at this point, almost 2 years ago. So I just tend to like those, and they're short, mostly contemporary, fluffy little short stories that take place in summer, and it was just perfect. It came out, I believe, in May, and it was just like the perfect time for it, and it's just summery and nice and like beach reads, and it's just, it makes me all like warm and fuzzy inside. Number 12 is the most beautiful book you have bought or received so far this year, and that is The Dream Quest of Villette Beau by Kij Johnson. I requested this book for review from Tor, and they very graciously sent it to me, and look at this stunningly beautiful cover. Like, it looks like a painting. I want it on my wall. It's gorgeous, and it's kind of sounds like it's like a magical realism story, which is why I wanted to read it so bad. So I'm sure the pages match the beauty that is this. Yeah, it's the prettiest thing that I've ever, I mean, just the colors are everything to me. If I could just have like a gown in these ombre, like beautiful, like dark blue green colors, yeah, bury me in that. Number 13 is a book you want to read by the end of the year. I actually have a list of 15 books that I wanted to read this year, and I've read about half of them, so I will show you the other half that I want to read before the end of the year, because that's like my one goal for the year, where like I'm reading these books. So these are the books that I have to finish before the end of the year. So that includes The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, Eon by Alison Goodman, The Queen of the Tierling by Erica Johansson, The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury, The Demon King by Cinda Williams-Chima, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and as of the filming of this video, I am currently reading Finnegan of the Rock by Melinda Marchetta. So those are all the books that you will for sure see in upcoming reviews and wrap-ups for the rest of the year. And number 14 is favorite book community member, and I could not even answer this question. I have done a ton of shout-out videos, which I will link down below, because I've probably talked about anybody that I would mention as a favorite community member there, and that's too selected to only have one. Like, I would have to have a whole tag devoted to favorite community members, and even then, I can't include everybody, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to be like, watch my other videos where I've talked about all of them and gushed about all of them because I love them so much. I just had a heart attack because I did my ending and then I went to turn off my camera and I saw that it was already off and I thought that I didn't film the entire tag, but I did. It just didn't film the ending. I started like sweating. Do you see? I was like, I don't want to refilm all that. Oh my gosh. Most stressful moment of a YouTuber ever is to think that you didn't record something or not record something. It's the worst, I'm telling you. So that is it for the mid-year book freakout tag. Comment down below and let me know if any of the books that I mentioned in the books I'm going to read before the end of the year segment are books that you're really looking forward to seeing me review, because that might push up the list a little bit. Help me kind of rank them, because I want to read all of them really bad, but I don't know like which ones to read first. Also, I'm not going to be tagging anybody for this tag because this tag has been going around for over a year now and I don't know who's done it and stuff. I don't know who to tag. But if you want to do this tag, feel free. So thank you all for watching and I'll see all you guys soon. Bye!